Okay, so I'm here and we're almost at the halfway point of our tatuaje, definitely through the first third. And as you can see, it's got just great construction. Just wanted to let the ash grow a little and show you how, the thing is just rolled very, very well. The draw on this thing is perfect. Burn, a little uneven. It's a little uneven obsessively. It's not perfect, of course. It's a little uneven, but it's fine. It's not affecting the cigar in any way. What I'm getting now is that the twang is dulling out a lot, especially at the tip of the tongue, and it's giving me a really intense flavor that's very meaty, and it almost reminds me of something like salted pistachios. It's just grabs the tip of the tongue a lot with a dull type of salt. It's very, very, very good. In the back of the palate, there's a lot of wood right now. That strong coffee note has really dissipated along with the twang. It's kind of funny. And the cigar seems to be changing up a lot. I'm getting a lot of salt though. A lot of salt and still a pretty even level of spice throughout. Very woody right now with that meaty flavor at the tip of the tongue. Delicious cigar. Delicious cigar. I think this would be a great cigar after dessert, after a big meal and dessert. If you're out and you don't want to smoke something too big, if you only got a few minutes, this is something great to light up. Right now, this is the only place I can record and smoke without, going short of going outside. It is frickin' 8 degrees out. It's freezing. So I'm sorry about the sound of the oil burner, but there's really nothing I can do about it. It's so cold, it takes about half an hour to turn off and 5 minutes to kick back on. So if I don't do this review during that, the cigar will be gone by the time I get a chance. Cigar's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's strong, but I tell you, one thing I'm realizing, one thing I'm seeing a big difference, and I don't know, it might have to do, I've heard a lot of different things. It has to do with lithium in the soil or whatever they say. I just don't get the same feeling. I don't get the same feeling from a Cuban cigar. I tell people, and they think, people who haven't smoked Cuban cigars laugh and think it's funny, and people who have understand what I'm talking about. But when I light up a Cuban cigar, I take 2-3 puffs, sometimes a single puff, and I'm just like, just like I get this instantly really relaxed feeling, which develops more and more as I'm smoking the cigar. By the end of the cigar, sometimes I feel like, light giddy. I mean, this really, it's giving me a nice relaxed feeling, but I'm halfway through the cigar and I'm like, I'm really not feeling much as far as that goes. So I don't know if maybe they're different in some way. It seems to me that the strength of the cigar, power-wise, as far as nicotine goes, not body, it's still very full body as far as flavor and everything else. But I don't know, just kind of not really affecting me too much. Yeah. Very, very, very meaty flavor at the tip of the tongue, followed by some spice. Makes your tongue go like, Very good. Very good. Not a sweet cigar by any means. No kind of honey notes or nougat or nothing like that. I wouldn't say it's nutty. It's definitely meaty and woody at the same time, mostly, except for those few strong coffee notes at the beginning. That's pretty much the only difference, and the dulling out of the twang. That's why I love the cigar. It always reminded me of like chewing on a nice, delicious, marinated steak. That's how the best I could describe it. It's like, sometimes I want to freaking just eat the thing. Well, it makes me very hungry. Therefore, like I said, it's a very good after meal cigar, Maybe that's why I feel I'm just like cold and I'm hungry, so I don't know, maybe whatever, but I don't seem to be getting any kind of heady effect. In spite of that, I always say, to me, with cigars, the most important thing to me is flavor. You know, I will smoke a very mild cigar if it has a lot of flavor. I will not smoke a very strong cigar if it has no flavor. You know what I mean? So it's more important to me that a cigar have really good flavor than power, you know, than strength. I want it to be there, but it isn't always. I would say maybe the aging has taken this cigar down from a full to a medium in that department, but not in the flavor department. If anything, the flavor has gotten nicer. You know, but heady-wise, I get more of a good feeling from smoking a mild, you know, La Gloria Cubana than this, which is, by the book, a hell of a lot stronger. Thing's making weird noises, man. It's gonna blow up. As you can see, the burn is evening out nicely. You know, no touch-ups, didn't do anything to it, just let it be on its own. A lot of times it'll go like one side, the other side, one side, the other side, and that's because of the way the tobacco is bunched, you know. So when you see, I tell people, you know, when you see it starting to go this way, don't grab your lighter and straighten it out right away. You really shouldn't do that. You could screw it up more than it's, you know, gonna be. In fact, it's not screwed up at all. It's just, that's just the way it burns, you know. At least I know one thing, and that is my practices of storing cigars I've really gotten it down. You know, I've gotten a good knack for when things need to be changed, when Boveda bags need to be swapped, you know, which place has the best, steadiest temperature as far as highs and lows, what temperature I want them at, what humidity I want them at. And my cigars that I've been aging for several years have been coming out fantastic. You know, whether it's in a jar or a humidor or, you know, in a Boveda bag, they've all been coming out very good. Humidity, when you first start out, is, you know, hard to control and work with because you really don't know what you're doing and you don't know what to expect. But it becomes easy, and actually in the end, it becomes a lot easier to control humidity than temperature. You know, temperature, things are going to happen. You know, the only way to get good temperature, unless you have an electronic humidor, is to, you know, make sure the house is heated and air conditioned at all times to a point where the room temperature stays at a constant level. But this rarely happens in living situations, you know. Don't know who that was, but I'm smoking. They can wait. If they don't leave a message, it obviously wasn't that important. If I know you, your name is in my book, so your name should pop up, not some weird fucking phone number. I have no idea. Okay, so we are into the last third of the cigar. We got about a little over an inch left or so, and some things are happening. First of all, the twang is gone, and the salt is completely subsiding. Very little hint of that left. Those coffee notes came back, but what I'm getting mostly is a lot of wood and a lot of spice. A lot of spice picking up all over the palate. A lot in the back, almost in the throat area, sides of the tongue, roof of the mouth. A lot of peppery spice all over the place, which is interesting. Those coffee notes came back, you know, and they're sprinkled here and there. It's like strange because coffee is usually a bassy type of note, but this is like, you know, one draw I'll get a big note of deep coffee, and then another draw it'll be gone. So that's kind of odd. But I would say it's a woody base, very, very, very sweet floral aroma. It's really just a great, great bouquet. woody with almost a almondy type flavor at the back of the roof of the mouth, and a lot of peppery notes. It's a nice change up. It's a nice change up. By no means getting bland, just very different. I'm telling you, the cigar has gotten so smooth, I'm actually blowing it through my nose a little bit. And for a Nicaraguan cigar, that's pretty impressive to be able to do that and not have it burn. But yeah, nice deep almondy flavor now at the back of the palate, and just a lot of spice, man. A lot of spice, a lot of peppery spice. I'd say it has a very woody, meaty base with no more salt left. There's a little one. A little bit. With the tongue. Very almondy. Very almondy. I really love the smell of this thing. It's absolutely great. Alright, so we're going to nub this a little and finish it up. The burn is just very good, very even. It's not what you call dead even, it's kind of like this, but it's even. And the draw on this thing was just great. Great. Very nice. Well, there it is. What's left of it, a little smoldering nub. And that was just a fantastic little cigar. Got it down as far as it could go. In fact, right after I kind of showed you the last part, I just took a few more puffs, and it became so hot that I couldn't even really get any more out of it. But at the very end there, it got extremely peppery, and gave me a good little blast right at the end. Excellent cigar. Excellent little smoke. Highly recommended. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this Dr. Joe Show review of our Tatuaje Noellas, a great little Nicaraguan cigar from Pete Johnson's brand Tatuaje. It's from the standard line, by the way, brown label, but all the labels have kind of changed since the one you've seen on here. Not extremely expensive for a box. Depends, of course, on who you're buying from and where you're buying it. But little box of 25 of these things is something that I would always recommend having around for a quick knock-around cigar. If you like something with a real high amount of flavor and a good amount of strength. I don't even know what to rate this cigar. I mean, it's such a standard for me that, you know, it's just, it's an average cigar that I really love. As far as non-Cuban Nicaraguan cigars go, I'm not going to rate against Cuban cigars. I'm rating in the, you know, non-Cuban realm. I would give this little guy an 8, definitely. 8 out of 10. For a lot of different reasons, most of which I've explained during the video. But, that's it. It's really, there's nothing magical about it, you know, but it never lets me down. It always is what it is. And while some are a little more flavorful than others, for the most part, it's a very consistent cigar. That's about it. I feel pretty good. The cigar, you know, gave me a decent good feeling.